The life boss actually is fairly uncomplicated. He only has a couple of different abilities. The one thing he does that you want to try to take care of as best as possible, he will spawn these little seedling pods, which you see I kind of zoomed out my camera to help me see them. And we actually did a pretty good job here in the beginning of making sure that the pods died right away. Because if they're left alone, they turn into ads, and it just becomes a pain in the neck to tank. He also will consume life energy on a random target, which will basically acts like a force choke, only there's a beam you can see. You can see there are a couple of pods got brought to life, so there are a couple of ads that we're dealing with, but it's not too bad. The main thing you want to make sure is not too many pods are just kind of left alone, because he's going to do an ability here pretty quick that's that if there are any pods just sitting on the ground, they'll instantly become ads. There it is, rampant growth. But luckily we didn't have any pods on the ground, so it worked out well. But yeah, again, this fight really is just about people doing what they're supposed to do. Now we move on to the arcane boss, easily the most complicated of the four. And the trash is just, it's high damage, it's high group damage trash. Again, there's no real set in stone kill order, because I don't believe the portal goes away regardless of what order you kill things in. You just want to make sure you're not standing in the beam that the portal shoots out, and just have a set kill order. And then you'll be fine. I mean, if you do have a shaman or a warlock, you can certainly CC one of the big elementals, because I lost my train of thought. Oh, because then you'll take less damage. The way we did it, we killed the flux animator first, and then the other big guy, and then dealt with the shards. I've been in groups that have focused the shards down first. I've been in groups that done the spatial anomaly first. I don't really think it matters, to be completely honest. As long as your group is following kill order, you'll be fine. I apologize for all the throat clearing. Apparently my throat was drier than I thought it was when I started this. And shockingly, the water isn't helping. Okay, so the arcane boss is a set. Yeah, I actually remembered her name. She progressively gets less complicated throughout the fight for reasons I'll explain as they come up. Anyway, during the beginning of the fight, she has 3 abilities. She does a Starfall. She also summons those little celestial familiars. And then she casts Supernova, which is just like, I don't remember his name, the boss in TOC 5-man, that did like a Holy Nova type thing. And it really has the same effect. Does a little bit of damage to you, disorientates you for like, I think it's 3 to 5 seconds. On Heroic, she also spawns portals just to make things more interesting and cause even more group damage. Twice during the fight, she does split off. The main thing is you want to mark the proper target. You want to kill Rain, and then call, I think. I don't know. We do it right. That's all I remember. Kill Rain first so she can't Starfall anymore. And then we go back to her. She summons some more familiars. Still does Supernova. Other than that, it's pretty much a rinse and repeat of the first phase. Turn your back to her on Supernova. Kill the ads. Or don't kill the ads. They don't do much damage. Usually Cleave AoE will do it. We killed Sky this time. And I think you're supposed to kill Call first, or second. Because then she can't summon ads in phase 3, but regardless. It's, again, not like the ads are that threatening. The main thing is that Rain dies first. And then Yawnfest. Kill ads. Kill boss. Mainly kill boss. And she dies, and we marvel at Fat Loots. The trash before the fire guy does actually require a pretty decent amount of paying attention. What I did, I think semi-unbeknownst to our tank until a little ways into the pull, is I actually CC'd one of the big elementals with Bind Elemental. Because what they do is they disperse and break into little mini mobs, and then break into even minier mobs. As you progress, and then they do a Fire Nova type ability that, if you kill all of the little baby mobs at the same time, will hit like a Mack truck. Now, it just so happened that Bind Elemental wore off at about the perfect time. We were just finishing up the first guy's baby mobs. You also notice I dropped another Healing Rain here. And anytime your DPS can help out with a little AoE healing, even if it's not much, it's going to help your healer's mana. You can see there I noticed I was starting to die, so I decided to run out. And finally, Ra or Raj or whatever the hell is, however you're supposed to say his name. He has a couple of different abilities that you have to deal with. We took an inordinately large amount of time before we pulled him, apparently. You can see I'm kind of scrolling back up the chat log to see if someone BRB'd or not. Yeah, so on the pull, this guy really doesn't do anything special. You're going to see here we did Bloodlust right away to push him through this first phase. Mainly because it's the more annoying of the two, because you see that little fire tornado guy at the bottom of the screen. Yeah, that will knock anyone back that gets touched by it and do a little bit of fire damage to him. He also does an ability called Inferno Leap, where he leaps at a random target and leaves a trail of fire. He will also do a skill called Summon Sun Orb, which is interruptible and should and must be interrupted. Because otherwise it does a meteor type thing, and it, well, hurts. And any healing your healer doesn't have to do is good. So you can see we pushed him into his Blessing of the Sun phase pretty quickly. And basically all this becomes a race against your healer's mana. He just basically spends the rest of this fight spamming this ability. I think it's on about a 15 or 20 second cooldown before or timer before it stops, and then you go back to phase 1, interrupting the Sun Orb, staying out of the Flame Tornado, and getting fat loots and your Valor points if this is your first heroic of the day. So, that is all I have for you on Heroic Halls of Origination.